This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you. I am Pearson Bowen. Massive exposure for Barbados through the Sandals brand. In the past week, officials from the luxury hotel chain hosted over 2,500 travel agents and airline partners in 4 cities on the west coast of the United States, telling them about plans for Sandals Barbados, now set to open January the 28th, 2015. In an exclusive interview with the CBC, Chief Executive Officer of Sandals Resorts International, Adam Stewart, explained that they are painting a picture of the island with the intention of boosting tourist arrivals to Barbados in a big way.
We're able to go into marketplaces and to say to them, listen, this is what Barbados means to us. This is why Barbados is so magical. This is the resort that we're building in Barbados. Show them renderings and get them excited about the island of Barbados. And probably we're talking to marketplaces that Barbados may not have major penetration. We know that the island of Barbados does better out of the European marketplaces, predominantly the United Kingdom. We focus on those also, but we have every intention of bringing the United States of America and Canada mainstream on board to Barbados as a destination.
Giving an update on Sandals Barbados, he revealed that construction work is ahead of schedule so far.
We have done all the demolition work to the 280 rooms, taken out all of the electrical, the plumbing, taken up all the floor tiles. We do full guts and when we do our renovations. This is a $65 million transformation. It'll have 6 additional restaurants. We've already laid the foundations for our butlers' pantries, our Club Sandals Concierge Lounge, the Café de Paris French Patisserie. And the project is moving incredibly fast. We have every intention of this hotel opening with full occupancy, with very, very strong daily rates.
A government senator says Barbados is already seeing signs of recovery. Parliamentary Secretary Senator Jetta Ince told the Upper House that the Sandals-Stewart administration is working to diversify the economy so that it can withstand future external shocks. Speaking on the money resolution regarding the issuing of Treasury bills, Senator Ince suggested painful measures like retrenchment are a necessary part of the process.
We are going to diversify the energy sector. We are going to diversify the tourism sector. We are going to diversify and look at ways in which we will be able to strengthen our international business. These are the things that we are going to look at. Look at new markets for international business instead of the traditional markets, Madam President. Diversifying the agriculture sector, where we're going to use the end product to create electricity to go into the national grid, where we're going to be looking at producing feed. These are the things that we're going to be looking at.
Opposition Senator Wilfred Abrams wants to know if the National Insurance Scheme or the Central Bank will be picking up the Treasury bills. He said neither is in a position to do so, and he expressed concern about the financial prudence of the Central Bank. He questioned the Central Bank's excessive payment to an employee.
I do not begrudge anybody making money, but if we're talking about situations where the Central Bank governor has said that the Central Bank has lost money, right, up to I think it's almost $10 million the Central Bank has lost. If we are dealing with a situation where the Central Bank governor is putting forward policies not being adhered to by this administration, if we're dealing of a situation and we're here debating a resolution to raise the limit, the ceiling on Treasury bills to finance a deficit that we accept is there, we have to be fiscally prudent all around.
There is some optimism tonight that a resolution to the ongoing dispute over retrenchments at the National Conservation Commission will soon be reached. Minister of Labour, Senator Dr. Esther Bayer-Sekou, believes an agreement could be had by tomorrow. Her comments came last night after chairing 5 hours of talks at the Labour Department with the parties involved.
The NCC agrees that in order to move this process forward, more in-depth information is needed so that we can have more thorough analysis of the situation. And the NCC has given me a commitment to provide me with that necessary information by tomorrow. And when I am in receipt of that information, the parties have agreed that we will then convene another meeting at the earliest convenience.
Dr. Bayer-Suku declined to say exactly what kind of information will be provided, but she said both parties are keen to settle the dispute as soon as possible in the interest of the workers. She also commented on the impact of the impasse on the NCC workers involved, acknowledging that the process has been frustrating for them.
While persons like myself and even the union leaders are familiar with the process, and we may understand that some things you have to go back and rework. Sometimes you have to get information that may take a while. Sometimes you just can't meet for 2 days because other situations may arise. I may understand that. The Chief Labor Officer may understand that. The union leaders, even the principals on the other side may understand that. But for the workers, every day, you know, it just drags this thing out a little further. And that is why, as I said, you know, I'm prepared to meet, you know, I can't meet tomorrow, but I'm prepared to meet as early as Thursday.
Well, the leaders of both unions and the NCC management declined to comment. Local officials are trying to determine why more monkeys are leaving their natural habitat and encroaching on people's properties and agricultural lands. The issue was raised today as Barbados joined other countries around the globe in observing World International Day for Biodiversity. Shane Seeley joined primary school students visiting the wildlife reserve.
It's been hard for local officials to put an estimate on the monkey population here on the island, but what they're telling us is that it appears to be on the rise. That's why the Ministry of Environment is about to conduct a study which will also look at some of the issues affecting the species here.
There are a number of issues facing the monkeys. The monkeys also CITES listed, so we do look at the numbers because we do have to regulate their export. The Ministry of Agriculture looks at it from a different perspective because they're considered agriculture pests and there's a bounty on the tail. So at some point in time, the ministries have already started discussion to look at how we would look at the issue of monkeys. But before we can prepare any recommendations on the issue, we have to ascertain the levels, the population levels, because as I said, we're not sure if population levels are increasing or if we're just seeing more monkeys because of the encroachment on the natural habitat.
Now there's also an explanation for why these wonderful creatures have been encroaching on agricultural land.
I think our ecosystems are quite overloaded in terms of providing adequate supply of food for these feeders. So of course they'll have to move further afield to get food. In terms of the quality and quantity of food that it can produce to sustain a growing population of monkeys, I think that we cannot sustain that population.
Now today's tour isn't all about the monkeys. It's really for some of the students to learn about biodiversity and how the animals and the plants can coexist in our local ecosystem. I'm Shane Seeley for CBC News.
It appears the invasive lionfish is now present in all of Barbados' coastal waters. Anecdotal evidence points to this, along with several reported sightings from fishermen and divers. Marine officials say the fish has the potential to affect local biodiversity and habitats in which they live. While the authorities were aware of the migration of this invasive species over time, marine biologist Caroline Besada says Barbados was drafting up a lionfish response plan.
We were able to prepare. We've since done baseline studies to look at our reef communities. We have trained everyone from NCC, the Coast Guard, fishermen, local divers on handling, filleting, pain management if somebody should get stung with the lionfish. And now that we're finding them in all of our coastal waters across on every coast, like ranging from depths from 10 feet to over 100 feet, we need to step up to the plate now. So we're already starting to call them regularly.
Breathalyzer testing in Barbados is closer to becoming a reality. Senator the Reverend Dr. David Durant says government is leaving no stone unturned in having the legislation passed in both houses of Parliament. He made the revelation as the National Council for the Prevention of Alcoholism and Drug Dependency hosted a function in memory of the island's first road fatality. Sarah Worrell was killed some 105 years ago on May the 13th, 1909.
With the breathalyzer testing, I think people will become much more responsible and it will be a deterrent. For more than 10 years, the call for breathalyzer testing in Barbados has been well supported by the likes of the National Council on Substance Abuse, the medical fraternity, especially doctors in the Accident and Emergency Department of the QEH. The police and the judicial system also give support to this, as well as NCPAD and quite a few others.
The Salvation Army says it has seen a need to increase what it provides to the needy given the current economic conditions. More people are now turning up at that organization for assistance. And according to its public relations officer, Major Denzel Walcott, they're now looking to provide counseling as well.
Because when people come to you like that, somebody needs to listen to them. We had a program here where we give out 40 food parcels twice a month. We have had to increase the number, but only do it once a month now. So we'll have between 60 and 80 people coming once a month for a food parcel. We've had mothers coming in to get assistance with clothing. We have also increased our back-to-school program, even though this is usually done July, August, when schools are going to reopen in September. We've had people coming here during these early months of the year for help with school material, and we've been able to do that.
Major Walcott says the organization has seen a fall in contributions and was not able to meet the target set for its Christmas Kettle appeal. However, it will press ahead and will be launching its mid-year appeal.
We are still doing a mid-year appeal. That should come out later on this month. The mid-year appeal will be launched, and that should close off around the ending of October. People are still giving, but not as much as they used to give before. We're setting a target for $150,000. We want to make that between now and the summer, and that would ease our burden.
Well, just over 100 special needs students of the Anhill School will have the opportunity to get free dental examinations over the next 2 days. It comes as the Barbados Dental Association hosts an outreach program in collaboration with the Pine Plantation Road Institution. Dentist Dr. Pamela Phillips explained that the program is a response to the many complaints received about the problems faced by many of the students.
The fact that have a lot of cavities and come to school with pain, and that it affects them so greatly. Like, for instance, it triggered one child to be having epileptic fits, and she was in so much pain. And so we just felt that, you know what, we can see what we can do. So we're here to examine the children over the next couple of days to see what their treatment needs are, and then afterwards to try to take them at least some every month and give them our professional treatment free of cost.
Principal of the Anhill School, Imelda Bell, told CBC she is pleased with the effort. She says dental hygiene is a key component of the school's curriculum.
I think they'll kind of connect the dots, because yes, we do talk about dental care and oral hygiene and the benefits of it. But when the dentists are able to come in and touch base with them, they start to, or they continue to build those good relationships. And when they see the dentist as, okay, this is my friend or someone I can speak to, they're more willing to go and remind mommy and daddy, well, we have to get our checkup and we have to get our new toothbrushes and things like that.